about 400 players now. WWII plays. Any plans to add support for squads again? The answer to that question is yes, and we are discussing that. And being someone who used to run squads as a player, I understand that very clearly. And I understand if you're referring to squad missions, it's not just that. It's a lot bigger than that. And the previous team had their reasons for making the changes that they did. However, sometimes changes that were good evolve and they're not necessarily anymore. And we need to adapt. And I don't think the return of squad missions specifically and only that is going to turn things around. There's a lot of reasons. And we also have to factor in that we cannot alienate new players. And I think that was the biggest reason why squad missions got taken out, by the way, other than some dramatic big squads causing issues. We won't go into that because that's no fun, and I wasn't a part of that, so I don't have all the context. But my biggest concern with squad missions and reintroducing them exactly as they were right now is alienating new players from accessing the game, because missions are the lobby to access the battlefield. And if we have a bunch of private lobbies, we really reduce their ability to get into the game. And we don't want to do that. I would be more interested right now to remove the burden off high command, to return that to the players, to get integrated voice comms. We've got multi-crew on the way back, and to get a new iteration of what missions and something new for the squads for sure. So my answer is yes, we want to do something more for the squads. We're just not exactly sure, based on our discussion, which direction we want to go. But we are talking about it, and we do recognize the value of squads. They are the core of the game. Jonas said, Baron Jonas 53rd here. Very fun game. I've been on and off this game for 7-8 years now. Any chance of getting the option to set new Fru on foot again? So what he means is player placed objects, so the mobile spawn, to be able to place it as an infantryman. And I don't think, and I've said the whole time, I don't think that infantry placed mobile spawns are dead. I think right now we're getting more combined operations with our current setup. I think it's a bit more realistic. But I think that and kind of thinking about squads and ways to help them and to provide incentive to be in a squad, I think infantry placed mobile spawns have a future with them in the future. Yeah, that, or looking at high command officers as well. We need to make high command a little bit more incentivized. And people, I still want to see high command do well. I just don't want to see them overburdened. And I want them to focus on facilitating attacks and being an organizer as opposed to this worker bee who's insanely worked way too much. Bert Neff, didn't check, but at 135, have you fixed the issue with time and day/night cycle? I don't have an answer for that, sorry. I'll ask our guys. Ryan Johnson, any chance for tanks to act as a Fru? No. But, and exclusive to this chat only, so we'll talk about this later on, we are examining the possibility of tanks being able to tow a single gun. So an AA gun, an ATG gun, but just a single one. We're looking at what vehicles were actually able to do that, and if we could apply the logic to the vehicle. So there is something to be had there. There's no ETA for when that will be coming, by the way, or if it will. We're only examining the possibility. Hermione said it would be better without mobile spawns at all, like the old school time. Some people wouldn't agree with that, but I think that the mobile spawns have done a lot of good to keep people interested in playing the game and got them into battle. So mobile spawns are here to stay for the foreseeable future, for sure. Our game is so big and massive on a scale, like a huge scale, that without mobile spawns or some sort, there has to be some way to direct the user to the battle. Not only from a user interface perspective, but also from a gameplay perspective. Those two things go hand in hand. They're really necessary. Let's see here. Rick Dudley, any way you could let the pilot land and get out and fight with a pistol? So you're talking about being able to dismount from your vehicle and I explained this in the last QA, but I'll do it here. The answer to that question is no, and I'll tell you why. When the game originally started development in '99, the thought of players getting out of their vehicles wasn't there. This is built off of a flight simulator, in case you guys didn't know that. The biggest thing is not only does that functionality not exist right now, could it? Yes. But the amount of time it would take to implement that with all of our existing art assets is huge. I would rather spend our time to do that, what you're suggesting, to have vehicles you can jump on and jump out of, all types, for the next version of the game. It seems to be a much better investment of time. We need to get to that point, and I keep repeating that because I want everyone to understand that that's the way we want to go, so there won't be any surprises. Joe said the best times he had in World War II were before mobile spawns, riding in the back of a Bedford. But was it because of the mobile spawn, or was it because it was more populated in the game? Everyone kind of reminisces about the old days. The concept was fresher, the development team was bigger, content was, coming out more frequently. They had a hell of a lot more players in the game. It's not, you can't just put it on one specific item. But the experiences and bonding with each other on board of a vehicle, sure, those are real, and maybe that was just a better time. Well, I said, I think it's not good to be able to jump out from tank and some random guy steal your tank. I'm sure it happened before. Why not? I'm taking a drink real quick. So I need more questions, guys. We're starting to get into, this is a good discussion. I hope you're having fun and finding this to be valuable. Our intention is to continue having these discussions. We've got about 26 minutes left in this chat, so my goal is to be here to make sure you guys understand what's going on. And if you have any specific questions, that they get answered. So please continue. Quinn Cannon, which is John Evans, said, with the changes in spawns, have you considered allowing transports or fair miles to spawn docks on beaches? Oh, I see what you're saying. The Z's have shown a need. So, as part of our starving demographics, like I mentioned earlier, the sailors, we're really looking at doing something cool for them. And I'm not going to go into detail about that today because we're still examining our capabilities. But we do have a very cool plan for the naval guys. But we're not quite ready because we need to make sure that it works first. We are exploring anything we can do to make the naval experience more vibrant. I think it's one of the most, it's not, I think, it is the most underutilized aspect of our game. And it's a very niche market that could be very appealing with some basic changes, not only in, setting up beach landings, iconic beach landings, but there needs to be more than that. I think we need to work on creating a consistent naval battle and providing incentives, and we're seeing a little bit of that now with RDP and destroyers going after those. But it's not quite. We need to do more. We're not done yet. I'm going to keep going on the questions. Are you guys, so Alex Grossman said, are you going to advertise the game in North America? We are already, and if you mean on TV or some huge production, there's no budget for that right now. If you subscribe, you fuel my team to do a lot of stuff. So I would say subscribe. Sorry, remove the camera. Oh, Jason Hall, yeah, it's a huge... Holy cow, man. I can't answer that right now. There's too many. Well, you said, honestly, which game came out in 2001 is still running today? This one. That's really cool, and yes, that's very true. I wish I could go through and answer that particularly. We can talk after this chat. There's way too many people here with a lot of questions that need to be answered, and that's a lot. But thanks for your support. And sorry, I can't answer that right now. Bring back points for killing others or other point building. So you want to have more point options. You want to be able to receive points for a variety of different things going on. Okay. Put that in the game. Ideas and suggestions for them. And let's talk about more. How can you receive points? How can we incentivize doing certain things? And if a forum post like that already exists, bump it up. Let's talk about it. Bring it back. How about so I'm going to say Visa. I'm not going to try your last name. Sorry. How about destroyable radar stations which can affect AWS system? That'd be cool. That's a terrain object, and there would have to be a lot associated with that, a lot of logic. But that's kind of cool. I like that. You should put that in the game ideas and suggestions for. That way we don't forget it. We talk about it. Andy DeVita, you ever pursue the game on a modern software platform? That's a long-term goal. Forgive me if you already answered. So the answer to that is yes. After we get on Steam, our goal is to seriously evaluate our potential to get on Unreal Engine 4 and to start building the next iteration of the game. And how big that first iteration will be, I'm not sure. Am I suggesting we build a rapid assault? No, I'm not. Don't go down that road. However, the amount of time it would take to develop a new game is huge. And understanding that we're in a unique financial position, which I won't go into detail about. We're stable, we're okay, we're going forward, getting done. But if we want to achieve World War II 2.0, when it's going to require an investment of some sort. So how do we get the funds necessary, development and support teams necessary to get the job done? Well, relying on an investor, maybe, probably not. I'm not going to put my money on that, if you will. So how else does a company, a business be able to provide things? It's funds. And does that mean a new Kickstarter? Maybe. What if we built a as a path to get to World War II 2.0? Excuse me. What if we built a smaller iteration? I don't mean Call of Duty. I mean, what if we built foundation part of World War II 2.0, all the new assets and everything required to get to that point. What if we started there and we made that a product, and then after that means that's flight elevation for the company, people to help out with version 2.0. Can we do that? These are the kind of things we're still undecided about. We know that our community is a little edgy on that, but I think our community has also learned a lot about the reality of game development, business, and it's not all happy